Let's get a wrap-up of the international news. Joy Zohaja is in London for Around the World in 5.
Good evening. 7 children thought to be from the same family have died in a house fire in Canada. It happened in the city of Halifax. It's believed the victims were Syrian refugees aged between 3 months and 17 years old. A man and a woman are being treated in hospital. The cause of the fire is yet to be determined.
Jumped up out of bed and looked out the back window, and all I could see was flames shooting out from the back door.
At this time, Halifax Regional Fire and Emergency are conducting an investigation into what caused this fire. The medical examiner for the province of Nova Scotia is also conducting an investigation. Our thoughts today are with the family and the community here during this terrible and difficult day.
A major avalanche at a popular resort in the Swiss Alps has killed 1 person and injured 3 others. The incident at Crans, Montana caught skiers off guard because it happened on a marked slope which was deemed to be low risk. 8 helicopters, 12 dogs and more than 240 people were part of the rescue effort. Police say the avalanche was 100 meters wide and 400 meters of heavy snow hit the piste. A teenager who joined the Islamic State group in Syria has been stripped of her British citizenship. Shamima Begum, who gave birth to a son at the weekend, says she's shocked by the decision, describing it as unjust. Her family plans to challenge the government's action.
It now transpires that the mother of Ms. Begum appears to be a Bangladesh national. By Bangladesh law, that would mean that Ms. Begum is a Bangladesh national. That means that she doesn't have only British nationality. Therefore, if her British nationality is removed, she is not stateless. The Home Secretary, therefore, in law, is acting within his power, it would appear, in removing her British nationality.
President Putin has warned he's ready to respond if America deploys nuclear weapons from Europe. During his annual address to the Federal Assembly, he said the European bases pose a direct threat to Russia, and he's prepared to target both the countries where the missiles are stationed as well as the US if necessary. In his toughest remarks yet on a potential new arms race, Putin added that he's not seeking confrontation and will not take the first step, but he reiterated his country's readiness. Venezuela's self-declared interim president, Juan Guaido, says he's secured more than $18 million in humanitarian aid for his country. He met the ambassadors of Germany, the United Kingdom and France, who promised 70 tons of medicines and food. The United States is also trying to deliver supplies to Venezuela, but President Nicolas Maduro says the relief efforts are part of an orchestrated coup to overthrow him. Uganda's ruling National Resistance Movement has endorsed President Yoweri Museveni as its candidate for the next presidential election in 2021. The 74-year-old, who's held office since 1986, is one of Africa's longest-serving leaders. Critics say he's maintained his grip on power through electoral fraud and by clamping down on the opposition. His supporters deny that, saying he's popular because the economy's expanded and the country's been stable under his rule. The Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman says he sees investment opportunities of more than $100 billion in India. The country's Prime Minister Narendra Modi broke with government protocol to personally welcome him to the capital. His tour of the region comes amid heightened tensions between India and Pakistan. During a visit to Islamabad, investment agreements worth $20 billion were signed. India is also working to strengthen ties with the kingdom.
We want to be sure that this relation is maintained and improved for the sake of both countries. And with the leadership of Mr. President and Mr. Prime Minister, I'm sure we can create good things for Saudi Arabia and India.
Vietnam is preparing for the arrival of the North Korean leader Kim Jong-un. He's expected to travel by train to Hanoi for next week's summit with the US President Donald Trump. The Vietnamese Prime Minister has told the organizing committee that security is the top priority. And finally, a cosmonaut and an astronaut who failed to reach the International Space Station after an aborted launch in October are ready to try again. Alexei Ovchinin and Nick Hague will be joined by Christina Koch, who wasn't involved in the previous attempt. Russian investigators found last year's failure was caused by a sensor that was damaged during assembly. The crew conducted a final flight examination before heading to the launch site in Kazakhstan.
I feel very fortunate to have the the second opportunity and to be here today preparing for that second flight.
This crew has proven themselves to not only be very experienced and prepared, but also heroes.
And that's your international news around the world in 5.
Welcome to Sports News. CAF Continental Competitions representatives Rangers and Lobi Stars bounced back to winning ways after beating their opponents Wiki Torres and Remo Stars 2-1 in Group A. Kwara United defeated struggling Niger Tornadoes 2-0, while Ayimba also defeated Katsina United by the same scoreline. In Group B, Kada City and Go Round were the biggest winners after securing vital away victories at Plateau United and Gombe United. In Uyo, Mfam Udo scored his 6th goal of the season to give Okwa United a 1-0 advantage over FC Ifeanyi Uba. Is a 10 continues with Amarati.
And the main news again. The Independent National Electoral Commission today updated Nigerians on the preparations for Saturday's exercise. The chairman, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, told journalists that INEC has achieved 100% reconfirmation for card readers. That's the news at 10 tonight. Thanks for watching. I am Amarachi Ubani. Good night.